Hello everyone, welcome to my class, and in today's class we will be learning from the chapter Bob Dylan, The Voice of a Generation, from the book English Alive 7 course book. Okay, so let us start. Okay, before we start, let us know about who is Bob Dylan. Okay, he was born on May 24, 1941. Okay, and basically he is American songwriter, singer, painter and a writer, and he was the first musician to win Nobel Prize. Okay, so he began his career as an American folk singer. Okay, so in entire book, if you go through it, in page number 31, there we will learn biography, that is in the later part. Okay, so since he was the first person to receive the Nobel Prize, and let us know some information regarding Nobel Prize. So it is a set of international awards given every year in recognition of academic, scientific and cultural advances. This is a prestigious award which in every year Nobel Prize is awarded in different fields. All right, for example, in academic, in scientific, okay, in peace, all right, in cultural advances. So this prestigious award was started by Alfred Nobel. If you go through the history of Nobel Prize, you will come across with this person named Alfred Nobel. Actually, he started this trend, and who was a chemist and engineer and inventor. One of his most famous invention was dynamite. So in his last and third will before dying, okay, Alfred Nobel, he pleaded his entire remaining state in the sense his entire property, his entire earning, okay, to bestow here means to distribute prizes to those who during the preceding years shall have conferred the greatest benefit to mankind. So for those people, those who are mostly committed for the human welfare or mankind, so he declared that the prize will be awarded every year. Okay, so Bob Dylan, he was also one of the person who received this prestigious award. Okay, now as you can see in page number 28, Bob Dylan, he was not able to attend the ceremony, okay, because of some personal reason, and his banquet speech was given by United States Ambassador, okay, to Sweden, Azita Razu. Okay, you can check in the YouTube also. Okay, I will send you the link in the group. At the Nobel banquet on 10th December 2016, okay, so the speech was given by other lady, and this whole speech has been given in the portion. So let us learn. Okay, so good evening everyone. I extend my warmest greetings to the member of the Swedish Academy and to all the other distinguished guests in attendance tonight. So he started with the greet. Good evening. I extend my warmest greetings to all the members of Swedish Academy. Now Swedish Academy here, it is the working body in Nobel Committee. Okay, it is elected from among its member for a 3 years tenure. For 3 years, it is a committee who decides that to whom to give, okay, whom to provide the Nobel prizes. Okay, so it was founded in 1786. Okay, and it is composed of 18 members. So he is extending his greeting to those academic, academy personals. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person, but please know that I'm most definitely with you in spirit and honored to be receiving such a prestigious prize. So since I'm not there to receive this prestigious, but believe me that I'm so much honored to receive this prize. So being awarded the Nobel Prize for literature is something I never could have imagined or seen coming. So something, it is an unbelievable for anyone, those who will receive Nobel Prize, right? So he feels the same, and he still adds that from an early age I have been familiar with and reading and observing the works of those who were deemed worthy of such a distinction. Means he has been worked like Kipling, Shaw, Thomas Mann, Pearl Buck, Albert Camus, Hemingway. These are the persons, those who had already received the Nobel Prize. And according to him, what he said, that I used to follow their work. Okay. And these giants of literature, whose works are taught in the schoolroom, household, in libraries around the world, and spoken of in reverent tone, in the reverent tone, in the reverent tone, have always made a deep impression. That I now join the name on such a list is truly beyond words. So this Kipling, Shaw, Thomas Mann, Pearl Buck, so these are the giants. These are the a famous person, a famous giant of literature. Okay, their works, whatever they have composed, whatever they have written, they are taught in the schoolrooms, all right, the household, in libraries around most of the world, and they have always made a big impression. They have really impressed. Okay, now I also have joined the list of these people. Now I am also be awarded, so I am pretty much honored with that. I don't know if these men and women ever thought of noble honor for themselves, but I suppose that anyone writing a book or a poem or a play anywhere in the world might harbor that secret dream deep down inside. It's probably buried so deep that they don't even know it's there. Now, according to him, he just want to elaborate these expression in such a way that all these people, those who have received the Nobel Prize, okay, they have like me, they have also never thought of that. But I suppose if anyone is writing, suppose you are writing, all right, thinking that I will win a Nobel Prize anywhere in the world, okay, suppose you are writing a book, you are writing a poem, you are writing any composition, thinking that I might win the Nobel Prize, then that secret dream is deep down, it is there, but it is probably buried. Buried means it is not there. Means whenever you start working, whenever you start keeping your enthusiasm going, interest going, that thought of winning is, of course, it is not even there. All right, if someone had ever told me that I had the slightest chance of winning the Nobel Prize, I would have to think that I have about the same odds as standing on the moon. So he is adding further that if someone have told me that yes, whatever the work you are doing, you have the chances of winning, then I would also have been in the same odds. Here odds means something that will happen, that in a queue, yes, that I will be receiving the Nobel Prize. In fact, during this year I was born, and for a few years after, there wasn't anyone in the world who was considered good enough to win the Nobel Prize. So I recognize that I am in very rare company, to say the least. So in fact, during the year I was born, when I was born, and for a few years after, there wasn't anyone in the world who was considered good enough to win the Nobel Prize. So I recognize that I am very rare company. I am very much, one of the smallest company, to say the least. I was out on the road when I received this surprising news, and it took me more than a few minutes to properly process it. Now, when I received the news for the first time, I was walking on the road, and It was very hard for me to believe. All right, here it took me more than a few minutes, all right, to properly process that he was simply wondering that was the news real or not. Then I began to think about William Shakespeare, the great literary figure. I would record, means here it means I would try to give the opinion. He thought of himself as a dramatist. Now, when I first received the news about winning the Nobel Prize, then I thought of literature. Now I would, give opinion that he thought himself as a dramatist. Now William Shakespeare is a famous dramatist. All right. So later on, whenever you will reach the higher class, you have to go through his works. Okay. And I would reckon he thought as a dramatist, means he was a dramatist, and the thought that he was writing literature couldn't have entered his head. His words were written for the stage, meant to be spoken, not read. When he was writing Hamlet, I'm sure he was thinking about a lot of different things. No, Hamlet is one of the famous drama. It's a famous play written by Shakespeare. Now he's just trying to elaborate that. When the Shakespeare was writing Hamlet, now I'm sure that many things were revolving around his mind. Who are the real actors for these roles? How should this be staged? Do I really want to set in Denmark? Now these are the questions. His creative vision and ambition were no doubt at the forefront of his mind. But there were also more mundane matter to consider. Mundane means very ordinary, right? But there are other facts that has to be considered and deal with. Is the financing in place? Are there enough good seats for my patrons? Patron means here means the audience. Where am I going to set a human skull? Inside that Hamlet, you will observe all this, human skull also. So I would bet that the farthest thing from Shakespeare's mind was the question, is this literature? Okay, so he means to say that whenever a writer, whenever a composer, he sits and he start thinking, then he has to think in a different in a different way. All right. Now, who are the real actors? Suppose you are writing a drama. Now, who are the real actors? Okay, script. This one, dialogues. Where it should be staged. All right. Shall I stage in this place or in that place? All right. And apart from that, what are the seats that can be available? So these all are the things that Shakespeare might have thought. All right, when he was writing the drama, that is Hamlet. Okay. And most probably, is this a literature? Is this a literature that am I writing? So this till here we will end in today's video. Okay, so these are the home assignment. So please go through it, copy this one, and as you all know that now you people have to submit your copy at school, and those are from far away, they can send me in the group itself. Okay, so these are the questions that you have to solve. Okay, so this is the first part of the video, and second part of the video I'll be releasing soon. So till then, take care and study well.